Hello everybody and welcome back to Saber Outdoors. I am of course your wonderful host Mark Alexander, and today we are testing Walmart's cheapest baitcaster. I think the cheapest baitcaster anywhere, but I haven't researched that. Maybe that's a future video. It is the Ozark Trail Baitcaster. Now, they make two of these. This is the black. They make a more expensive version that is gray. From what I can understand, that's really the only big difference. But let's read on the package, see what there is. So, 5 ball bearings. That's not a lot, but it's better than none. 6.5 foot graphite one-piece rod. I like a one-piece rod, and in a cheap rod, you don't normally get that. 6.4 to 1 ratio gears, so it's a tiny bit slow, but the low gear ratio is good for a heavy lure, for something that's really going to drag you down. Something like, I probably will throw that Long Creek Custom wake bait because I'm in love with that thing, and I may throw other things, of course, but let's keep reading. For some reason, it tells me the line capacity, which is very odd. Let's see what the inside looks like, or even if I can get at the inside. Can I get to the inside? If I can, it sure doesn't tell me. Surely it doesn't just pop off. Guys, I don't know how to take this apart. So that's a mark against it. It's not very user-friendly in that particular respect. But like the reel itself is pretty smooth. Of course, tension's all the way off. Brakes are all the way off. It has magnetic brakes like any other cheap reel does. But let's look at the rod right quick. Medium action rod. Not surprised. Usually a cheap rod is a medium action rod. I have no idea what this line is, but it does come with line. Let me see if maybe it says. Does it say anywhere? Come on, guys. You have one job, one singular job, and you failed. So we have some mystery line on our rig. I'm gonna hope this is 12-pound line, but it could be 8, which isn't, the end of the world. But the bigger your line is, the more likely you're going to get your fish in, the easier backlashes are to get out. It's just a better thing. I usually don't start with anything less on a regular bait caster than 15 pound. Sometimes I will go down to 12, but most always 15 is my go-to. Now for my BFS rig, I go down lower for it because it's a specialty rig. This, I'm hoping, is at least 12, but I'm not sure. I have no idea. I have no way of knowing. For some reason, they have got it zip tied. I guess they think people are going to steal this reel off this rod. But guys, it's 35 bucks. Who cannot afford 35 bucks if you're looking for fishing equipment? I don't know, but that's enough yammering, enough yakking, enough ranting. We're gonna take everything off of it, and we're gonna go try our luck with it. We'll see you there. All right, guys. So we've got a chatterbait on this, and I do believe this is 8-pound line. So I'm not throwing anything on this that I can't go to Walmart and buy another one of. So our bait selection's probably not going to be super, but I've fiddled with this for a little bit, and it feels really, really cheap. But we've recently had a rain, and the water's high compared to what it was before. It's probably came up a solid foot at least. But I've got the brakes on max. I've got my tension knob set the way I think it should be set. So let's give her first throw. Wow, that was not good. Those brakes stopped it way before it should have. And this feels very cheap indeed. We're gonna turn our brakes down to 7. Now they go all the way to 10, so that'll give you kind of a idea where we're at. Okay. So I can get a reasonable cast out of this. Now, this is not a heavy lure that I'm throwing, and it feels pretty heavy on the end of this rod. Because, look, guys, this is not a heavy lure. Look how much it pulls that rod down. That's not a good sign. Even though this is not a very highly geared reel, it feels like it takes a lot of effort to get the wow, that does not feel good. Well guys, let's do like normal. Wow, that tension kind of just doing whatever it wants to. Wow, after using that my good setups that I have, this feels terrible. I saw something hit over here. Let's see if we can get to it. Oh, we're on, guys, and that is not a little fish either. Oh, get off me. That is a nice fish. Reel seat's loose while I'm getting this nice fish in. Guys, that is probably, oh, that's like a 3-pound fish. Get up here on 8-pound line. Look at this, guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, guys. Oh my God, guys. This terrible rod. And look at what we've got. Oh my God. And I ain't got a soul to take my picture. I'm gonna have to find somebody to take my picture, because I am not putting this back without getting a picture. Guys, this is like a 3-pound fish. I could put my fist down his throat. I'm gonna go down to these nice people and see if they'll take my picture, because oh my God. Oh, I'm scaring the Lord and Lady and the subjects with my laughter. Oh guys, this is an awesome catch. I figured at some point I would be doing some foolish challenge and I would catch some nice fish like this. I'm gonna see if these people will be nice enough to take my picture. All right guys, one last look at this nice fish. He's like 3 pounds, I'm guessing. Hey mama, I've been waiting on you. Goodbye. Woo, that's what I call a good day. All right guys, we're gonna go back to the other end of the pond, leave these people to enjoy their day. They's nice enough to take my picture. I am a happy boy. Let me tell you, there ain't nothing better than catching a big bass at a time when you didn't think a big bass was coming, because that was out of nowhere and it was so good. All right guys, so 3-pounder in. Let's see if we can catch. I'd even be happy with something half that size. I'm having to still dialing this reel in real good. I think I'm getting close to having it there though. But you know, you saw big fish, and you know, I wasn't able to horse him in, but I was able to get him in. And the more I use this reel, the looser it is getting. Turn up the tension a little. This thing I can't quite get dialed. It seems to do one thing one time and something else altogether different another time. We're just gonna fish or chatterbait for a while, and I might break out the fly rod before the end of this. You know, this thing has the squeak is getting worse and worse the more I use this. It sounds like it's where the shaft of the spool comes into the side plate. This thing is weird as all get out. It almost bird nest, but the line, the spool stops before it hits the water. All right, guys, so like, I've not got the tension this tight, and it's not wanting to do for me. And this reel, for some reason, it will not dial in. So guys, I'm gonna put this down, and I happen to bring the whip with me. And guys, I've been missing my whip. So I'm gonna take my fly rod out. If you don't know, that's what I call my fly rod. I call it the whip, because I whip out my lure and I whip back fish. But we're gonna see if I can get into some bluegill, because that rod and reel setup is not very good. Nope. Oh, there's one. That's a nice fish too. Yeah, baby. Let me tell you, there ain't nothing in this world that makes me happier than nailing bluegill on a fly rod. Look at that, guys. Let me tell you, if I was a hungry man and somebody said, you're gonna have to fish for your food, one, I'd probably starve, because I don't like fish to eat anyways. And two, I would probably pick my fly rod, because look at that beautiful bluegill. See you, my guy. Back he goes, safe and sound. That's good. Long ways out there, and I got that. He don't feel big, or he's coming in easy one. He's not big, but we'll take him. That's probably what's tearing me up out there, is bluegill about this size that they're not quite able to get that popper in. Now guys, this is why I like popper. I've fished this popper now for quite some time, and it's a little beat up, but I can still use it to catch another one. And that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, that's a nice fish. Oh, it's gone. No! Got that one. He slurped it down. I thought he just tail whacked it. That's another nicer fish, feels like. He's fighting a lot harder anyways. Come on out of here. Now, for anyone that wants to know what my fly setup is, I'm gonna, before very long, do a basics video on fly fishing. See you, guy. I'm gonna, before very long, be making a fly fishing video about, you know, what I use, the basics of, you know, everything. If you watch the raw video, I spoke a lot about my fly fishing setup there. Of course, you have to watch the raw video, not the 20%er. Guys, I think that's a long enough break. We're going to go back to our subject of this video. All right, guys. So I've got a black Riot Baits lipless on. Look how cool that looks. That's probably the coolest looking bait that I own. Just, you know, a stock production bait. But we're gonna give her a few throws, see how she does. You can still hear that squeak audibly. This reel, I've been fishing now with it for a while, and I just cannot get it dialed in as far as not having it work what I would feel is not a good way. All right, guys, so before I thought of myself, I already cast it out, and it did a reel scream on me. First time it's done that. Like, it wasn't just a squeak, 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 squeak. It straight up, like, screamed at me. I hope it does it again where y'all can hear. Of course it doesn't. Just a little chirp, 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 chirp. All right, guys, so we're finished fishing for the day. So this reel, I do have some conclusions about it. The adjustments are garbage. The quality is not good. The only time I casted, whenever it was off screen, it had a big scream as it went across the water, and you can hear as I'm reeling, squeak, 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 squeak. Now, if I could get this open, wouldn't be a problem, but I don't know how to get it open unless I start researching, and I didn't buy a reel in order to have to research how to fix or open or do any basic thing with this reel. The rod, it's a little light for a bait caster, but works just fine. There's nothing wrong with the rod. The rod seems to be good functioning rod, but the reel is pure hot garbage. So my suggestion to you, if you have a chance to buy this for $35, do not buy it. This is not worth $35. This is worth $20 or less, brand new. And you know, you saw in my basics video, I can set a bait caster up very quickly. This one I had to keep fiddling with, keep tweaking on it, keep like trying to figure it out, and I never could get it really good and dialed in. And I think that's just because it's a very poor quality reel. If I were buying my first bait caster, I would go to a Black Max, or I would even go to an Ugly Stick, because the Ugly Stick rig doesn't look any doesn't look any different, but it is, because Ugly Stick is super tough, and Shakespeare usually makes a okay bottom of the line reel. Of course, it's not a comparison if you go up to an Abu Garcia Black Max. Those are not even a comparison. Make sure I'm not bleeding. But those are not even a comparison. But that's all there is to this video. So I'm just going to give you the usual YouTube things: like, share, subscribe, comment. Please hit that bell notification and subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it helps me so much. We'll see you somewhere in the woods or on the water.